Happy Thursday, Flosstube. Hello, crafty friends. How's everybody doing today? Welcome back. My name is Caroline. I am recording here in London, Ontario, Canada at the Evertote workshop. It is Thursday, June the 6th, 2024. Thursday, June 6th. How are we in June already? I honestly can't quite believe that we're in June already. Wow. So my last video on this channel was 2 weeks ago. I had planned to do I had some giveaways in that video 2 weeks ago, and I said I would pull the winner last Friday, but my friend Kerri and I record Flosstube videos on the Evertote workshop channel, and last week was our week for videos on that channel. And so I thought if I waited until this week, then I would be back to the schedule that I really like, which is every other week I do a video here. This channel is a little bit more of my first home, a little bit more personal, just me and many of you I've gotten to know over the years. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you'll stay for a little visit, grab a coffee or your beverage of choice, and you're stitching. I've got a few things to share with you, what I've been up to. So let's take care of the giveaway first. I had one giveaway that I talked about, and then I had a secret giveaway. I recorded a 2-hour video 2 weeks ago. I don't think I have ever recorded a 2-hour video. That was a first for me, and I am not short-winded. So that was a first for me. And so after I finished editing that behemoth, I thought, you know, let's tuck in a little treat here at the end, a little surprise for those who make it to the end. And if you were actually watching the screen, you caught, I left a little Easter egg at the end, and I said, if you made it all the way to the end and you see this screen, you deserve a little prize. And so I had an extra giveaway where I had, if people saw it, they could email me and I would enter them in a second prize drawing. So the first giveaway was for, oh dear, where did I put it? Had it here. Hang on a second. Okay, here it is. The first prize that I had for giveaway, this is the Artsy Housewife, Golden Delicious, and my friend Ellen, Maximum Cross Stitch, stitched the shop model for us because this was done with Roxy Flossco Floss Conversion. And so I had a chart and a floss pack up for giveaway. I had 157 comments on that video. So I'm assuming if you commented, you were hoping to be entered in the giveaway. And I used the YouTube random comment picker. And congratulations, Molly Grub 5372. I'll put the screenshot of your winning comment picker thing. I'll put it up here. Congratulations, Molly Grub 5372. You are the winner of the Golden Delicious Floss Pack and Chart by the Artsy Housewife. If you could please send me an email, caroline@evertote.ca, then we will get that in the post for you. Congratulations. I think you're gonna love stitching it. The designer behind the Artsy Housewife, her and her husband, so her name is Gigi and her husband's name is Boone, and they have a YouTube channel as well. And so you should check them out, because Gigi's patterns are, we're big fans here at Evertote. Her patterns are really whimsical and fun and different. Great use of color. I mean, she's just, she's very talented, and it's been really fun working with her. So we've cooked up a little collaboration for a new chart that I'm going to be starting. Next month in July, which is my birthday month. I'm going to be starting this as a stitch along for my birthday. This is Weeds and Wildflowers, and this was a collaboration that we did with Gigi, based off of a fabric that we picked here at Evertote And so we've put a bit of a package together, and we're also carrying the charts and the floss packs and all that kind of stuff here at Evertote. Everything, I'll leave links in the drop down box below. So, you know, her charts are really fun, and the color palettes are just, I don't know, there's just something about her color choices are just really, really lovely. So this was stitched on a Roxy Floss Co. new linen to our collection from Kerri. This is called Buttercup, the linen, and the floss pack was stitched with the Roxy Floss Co. floss pack. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that new start. It's hard to pick what I like best about it because I love the moth. And I love the flowers and the colors, and so I'm usually a bottom left corner stitcher, but this one might be a middle start for me, possibly. Okay, so we had a second giveaway. I mentioned that I had left the screen at the end, and I had 86 people email me, which was wonderful, you guys. It was so fun that that you caught that clue at the end and that you sent me an email that you'd watched it. So thank you, and thank you for sending me lovely emails. I mean, it's really fun to hear back from you because I'm sitting here visiting with you. It does actually make this feel like it's more of a dialogue rather than me, you know, talking to myself for however long this lasts. Anyways, so I had 86 emails, and I used the random number generator, which picked number 47. So number 47, you were the lucky winner. Congratulations, Lisa B. Quilter Wilson. Lisa B. Quilter Wilson, and I think your name is Lisa Wilson. So congratulations, Lisa. Your prize is any Artsy Housewife chart and floss pack that we carry here at Evertote. That's your prize. You get to pick whichever one you want. So congratulations. I did not have a giveaway ready for today, but there is, if you caught our floss tube that we recorded over on the Evertote channel that Kerri and I did last week, there's a great giveaway up on that video for a couple of, I should show you these in case if you didn't watch us. This giveaway I think is worth the price of admission. These Fibre magazines, they are published in and put together in Quebec, Canada, and they are French magazines, no advertising. They are 100% craft related material, fantastic publication. I really like these they're not inexpensive. The cost of these are about $40 Canadian each. There are only 3 issues so far, but they are beautiful magazines meant to be savored with a cup of coffee and a quiet afternoon, and Google Translate should you need it. But really, really, I mean, the pictures are just, you know, everything. Weaving, you know, all crafts, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look at the photography, color. It's that really wonderful paper that you love to feel. Reminds me a lot of the Making magazine that came out in the States a number of years back. It's lovely. So, and I've got some thread beds from Gamma's Treasures. These were left over. I have a couple of these left over from our Stitch North retreat. Thank you, Dawn. And so a Fibre magazine, Gamma's Treasures thread bed, as well as a 25-gram Roxy Floss Co. surprise pack. So those giveaways are still available. Still, that hasn't closed. It's on the video. I'll leave a link to that video over in the drop-down box below. I just stopped to change my battery. These cups. These cups. I posted a picture on Instagram yesterday. My Instagram account is @Evertotes. And I was sent this for free by a company because I spent an obscene amount of money with a company, business related, and so you got to pick your free prize, right? So free with cost of purchase. And so I thought, well, let's see what the craze is all about, right? These things. This is so heavy when it's full. Like, this is so heavy. I don't know how everybody doesn't have tendonitis from using these all the time. This is like a, you know, you're gonna get your workout while you hydrate yourself. So anyways, I will say it keeps your water super cold. And, you know, I think it was Zena who suggested yesterday that I should maybe put iced coffee in there. So not a bad idea. Okay, so what have I been up to? I have 3 projects that I've been working on and 1 project that I'm planning to work on this weekend to get some progress into it. So what I'll do is I'll show them to you in the order of, you know, newest throughout finished. I actually have a kind of semi little finish today, and it's kind of cheating because I've shared this as a finish before, but it wasn't actually finished. This is it was kind of a 3-stage finish, and so I'm on the 2nd stage of the finishing process. Okay, so first up, I had a new start. This year, I am starting all the things. I am starting all the things, and I'm finishing some stuff too, so it's been exciting. I won't be doing this next year, but this year, I'm turning 50 this year, and so I am stitching whatever I want to stitch, and I'm starting whatever I want to start, and I'm throwing caution to the wind. It has never made me anxious to have a ton of whips. I know this is not for everyone, and no judgment. No judgment on me, no judgment on you. This is supposed to be fun. It's a hobby, it's a craft, it is a passion. I am passionate about cross stitch, and I am also very much both a process stitcher as well as enjoying the finish kind of stitcher. So I like both. I like everything. There's nothing bad about it in my mind at all, other than dealing with a little bit of tennis elbow. However, it wasn't caused by cross stitching, and it wasn't caused by the gigantic cup of water. Believe it or not, I think I did it originally pulling the cord on the generator. I was up at the cottage for a week on my own. I'll tell you about that at the end of this video, but pulling the cord on the generator, I think that's what initially caused it. And then some leash walking that it's a long story. It just aggravated it. But yeah, so tennis elbow. I can't knit at the moment at all. Knitting is out. And so I'm gonna give it a little bit, I'm gonna give it another week, and I'm resting it, I'm icing it, I'm being careful, I'm doing stuff with my left hand. And then in a week, if it hasn't improved, if it hasn't shown any improvement, then I'm gonna go see the physiotherapist. So we'll go from there. I also have some, Kerri she's been dealing with this for a while, so she's given me a couple of links to, I believe, a product that our friend Gwyneth recommended to her to try. It's something that she could purchase. It's a twisting bar apparatus kind of thing. So that's also on the table. Lots of things on the table, but anyways, I'm being careful with it. So I'm trying not to overdo the stitching, and I'm trying not to stay in one position overly long. And if I notice that it's a little uncomfortable, then I'm resting it, taking it easy. But I am still stitching because I can't knit. I literally can't knit. That was painful, but stitching's okay. So I had a new start. I kind of pushed my friend Kerri into this because I thought it was a great idea. This was actually Hannah's idea. We have started carrying more charts by Leanne of 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers. And one of the newest ones that we brought into the shop is Catharaine Rees. What's the year? I can't find it easily, but there are 2 small samplers done by Catharaine. One of them is called While Plying Her Needle, and the other one is called Blooming in Her Own Time. And so last week I kind of surprised Kerri, and I said, hey, you know, Hannah had this great idea. We should each stitch one. We should each stitch a small sampler, and then we can share the pattern. We can share the, because there's 2 patterns in here, right? It includes both patterns. There's 2 samplers. We can share the floss pack. We're doing it on 46 count linen, so we could share it just squeaked into the measurements of a 46 count wide 1/8. Cut it in half, and we can share that. So she wasn't as thrilled as I thought she would be. And it turns out that it was more because she also is dealing with some tendonitis and isn't stitching as much. And so she sort of was a little bit, oh, well, it's, you know, I'm not able to stitch very much. And I think she felt a little pressured. So if she really hadn't wanted to do it, I wouldn't have made her do it. Right, made. I wouldn't have made her do it. But we came up with a plan because we work together, and this is our work, like stitching, and she's the dyer. So I said, well, you know what? We should have a mandatory weekly stitching meeting, right? Like a stitching business meeting. So, but we'll call it something a little more fun. We'll call it a stitching play date once a week. So every Tuesday morning, we're gonna meet for 45 minutes, and we're gonna each work on our Catharaine Rees sampler. And of course, Kerri loves birds. I love birds too, but she actually owns parrots. She's stitching the one with the birds, and I'm stitching the floral motif. So on Tuesday morning, we started them. So here it is, 46 count. I am using scroll rods, and here's my start. I should put a piece of white behind this instead of something colored, so that you can actually, here, I'll use my planner from Lori. There, look at it. So pretty. It is so pretty. So I got a decent start. Now, I will admit that I may have stitched for an extra little bit of time after, only because Kerri cheated and she started the night before. So I can't let her get too far ahead of me. She's a faster stitcher than I am, so I may have added a little extra time, but I won't work on it again until we meet next Tuesday. So Catharaine Rees, 46 count dirty porcelain linen, Roxy Flosco dirty porcelain linen with Hannah Floss Boss Hannah here at the Evertote workshop. She does our conversions for Roxy Flosco, and she did Leanne's. So this is Hannah's conversion. Where's my floss pack? Somewhere else. Oh, it's hanging up over there on my floss wall. So a good start. And that makes, what was that? Start number, because I'm keeping track. For the year, that is start number 17. So I have started 17 things, and I have finished 10 things. So I'm up to 27 total. My goal was 50 for 50. But I won't be mad if I don't make 50, or if I make more than 50. It's just a loose goal, and I am really trying to embrace the, if I feel like a new start, I'm gonna start a new start. So 17 new projects and 10 finishes. Pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna try to keep myself organized here. Okay, the next thing that I was working on, and I really would like to get this finished because I love it. It's so fun. And I want the model, the shop model, finished and on the wall. This is, oh, I left the chart over there. Okay, so this is Cosford Rise Stitchery in the Dale. designed by Kelly. Kelly is an American expat living in the UK. Kerri and I met her back in October of 2022 when we went to the Stitch in London retreat, London, UK, not London, Ontario, and we hit it off immediately with Kelly. And there were a few other designers as well that we met, and we had a great time. We just had a great time. But this is the piece I'm working on right now. So this is In the Dale, Cosford Rise Stitchery. And Kelly designed and charted this with Roxy Floss Co. Hence the reason why I really would like a shop model done. So she stitched her model on a 32 count linen, and you know, she sent a list of floss DMC numbers to Hannah, and Hannah converted them for her and then mailed them across the pond so that Kelly could stitch her model with the Roxy Floss Co. floss pack. So when I saw this chart, I immediately thought, you know, that would translate really well as an Aida stitch. And that's the other thing I should mention. I want to try to remember when I have a pattern to say whether or not it's Aida friendly. I think that the Catharaine Rees is Aida friendly. There are no specialty stitches. It is all blooming in her own time is definitely just cross stitch while plying her needle, also all cross stitch, no 1/1, nothing. We have some beautiful 20 count Aida. We have 14, 16, 18, 20 count Aida. Kerri dyes it all, and both of those small samplers are Aida friendly. So if you and your friend want to stitch it, you're an Aida stitcher, they're a linen stitcher, doesn't matter, you can both stitch it. So when I saw In the Dale, I thought, you know, that would be a great opportunity to stitch and have a model done on Aida, because we only have a few. No, and that's not one of them. In fact, it's not on the wall here, it's in Hannah's office. Ellen did a shop model for us from the Blackbird Designs book, Honeysuckle Manor, which that chart there is from. And this one was done, let me take you a little closer. This one was done on a 36 count Panettone linen. That one there with the house. Oops, there we go, that's better. And I always get asked about the ladies. So let's show you the ladies nice and close. Let me turn the camera around here so I can see what I'm showing you. Okay, so these are, let's get rid of the glare, there we go. These were the queens designed by Ellen, my friend, Maximum Cross Stitch. And these are the queens. We've got Anne Boleyn, we've got Mary, we've got Catharaine, and they're fantastic. So if you were wondering, I always get asked, what are the ladies in dresses behind you? Aren't they fantastic? I love them. So Maximum Cross Stitch, the queens, and all three of them are sold separately. You can tell, you can see the skirts have specialty stitches. Ellen has charted them as cross stitch with the specialty stitches suggested inside the booklet as well. You can see she added some beads. Isn't that great? Those eyelets. Yeah. Satin stitch. The skirts are so huge. I mean, you could really just make it your own. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. My friend Ellen is very talented. Aren't they pretty? So pretty. Okay, so, and what's also funny is that Ellen stitched most of the models that are behind me. She is a voracious, amazing stitcher, as well as, you know, a talented designer, and oh, by the way, a rock star, member of the Crash Test Dummies. So yeah, she's all that and a bag of chips is my friend Ellen. So it's about time that I have a few of these models on the walls that are stitched by me. So are you ready? Here we go. Here is my progress. I'm getting close, you guys. check it out. Look at that. We have a headless bunny. I'm so close. So the first bunny is almost done. The bottom is completely done. This was no joke, full coverage. I mean, it is full coverage, you can see, right? So much grass, like grass for days. This pond took a while. The chart has a floss error. The symbols for these two colors are mixed up. Which one? Roses are gold? Yeah, roses are gold and caramel. The symbols are mixed, and I didn't notice until after I'd stitched the mother duck. And it doesn't really matter because I still think my mother duck looks great, but it'll really matter for your rabbits. So you have to remember that those are switched. So my first rabbit's almost done. Everything else up to there is done. And then as you can see, the top is not full coverage. So, you know, it shouldn't take nearly as much time to finish the top of the egg. But isn't it sweet? I mean, that duck family, they are so sweet. So this is 16 count Panettone Aida, 2 strands of floss. I think the last time I showed this, I said 2 strands of floss over 2. I'm just so used to saying that. It's just 2 strands of floss. It's Aida, so I stitched it as you would normally stitch on Aida. I definitely didn't go over 2. It would be much, much bigger than this. And I'm so proud that it is. I mean, this was a lot of stitching in here, and it just looks so pretty. These flowers, I mean, the daffodils and the little bluebells, and yeah, I'm really pleased. It's so pretty. I'm loving it. So, ta-da! Lots of progress on that. So, remember I said I had a kind of finish. I have shared this before. This is the Margreat Meadows Inspired Spools by Jeannette Douglas. Jeannette Douglas Designs. Fellow Canadian, amazing designer, lovely woman. And Jeannette did this particular chart for us here at Evertote and Roxy Floss Co. Hannah had done a conversion of a sampler of Jeannette's called Margreat Meadows. And Jeannette and I, we met in person for real. We had worked together a few years back on a Christmas holiday collaboration, the Christmas cheer pin pillows. She designed those with some Roxy Floss Co. floss. And so we had kind of gotten to know each other via email a little bit that way. But in last June, so a year ago in Edmonton, Kerri and I went to the Stitch and Stash retreat in Edmonton. Wonderful retreat, by the way. I know that Kerri's actually going this year. She's going to that one. It's happening in a couple of weeks, I think. It's either next weekend or the weekend after. And so I got to meet Jeannette in person for the first time. And we really, as I expected, we hit it off. And we started chatting about some of her charts and how she would feel about us converting them to Kerri's linens and flosses, and she was completely enthusiastic, and we had a great chat. And so she contacted me a little bit after the retreat, and she said, you know, I've had this idea for Margreat Meadows that some of the motifs on it would work really well on spools. And how would you feel, should we do this where, you know, I'll stitch your conversion into these spools, and then, you know, we'll kit it up. And I said, well, one does not say no when Jeannette Douglas has a good idea. So I, of course, said yes, and this is what happened. So there were 2 kinds of spools. Now, I did a video with my friend Daniel, who works here at the Evertote workshop, and Daniel and I did a video together all about these spools because he wanted to stitch them both. He started with the scissor spool. So one of the spools holds, and these are made by hand by a woodworker in Toronto, Ontario. And Jeannette orders them from him, and then I purchase them. So we've got them here in the shop. There's one that's a scissor holder, so you can, this is the ornament one. I'm finishing into the ornament. And then there's one that's a scissor holder. So actually it has a hole in the top, much smaller than this, of course. And you just put your, let's use a pen, right? You get it, right? So it holds your scissors on your desk. I'm stitching the ornament finish. I will put a link in the drop-down box below to the little video that Daniel and I did together where we were starting our projects, because it talks more in detail about the project. And it also includes a small little 2 to 3 minute video from Jeannette herself, who talked about the finishing of the spools. And it was just sort of a sweet little Easter egg in the middle of our video that I was thrilled that she allowed me to share, that she recorded for us. So again, I'll leave a link in the drop-down box below. So a while back, I finished the stitching and if you watch that video, you'll have a greater understanding of how it works. It's pretty straightforward. You get to choose either 36 count or 40 count, but you can't stitch either design. You have to pick. If you choose the 36 count, then you have to stitch one of them, and if you choose the 40 count, you have to stitch the other. I picked 40 count, and Daniel did the 36 count design. So I finished the stitching. But what I didn't realize was that I had forgotten or put it out of my mind that there is also some 1/1 initials. 1/1 initials right there, and the year, and I forgot them. So I thought, oh, that's great. I'm all done the stitching. Now I can do the nun stitch and finish it up. And then when I was preparing myself yesterday to do the nun stitch, I've been putting it off because specialty stitches, I have a love-hate relationship with them. Once I get into them and I get into the groove and I understand what I'm doing, it's typically, you know, it's never as painful as I think it's going to be. I think I just have really traumatic memories of trying to learn the bullion stitch. And I'm sure it's a me thing and not a, you know, materials thing. It just wasn't a lot of fun. And so, but you know what? I'm a big girl. I could have just subbed in something else for the bullion stitch and carried on with my day, but I didn't. I am starting to enjoy smaller doses of specialty stitches, which I'm hoping is enriching my general stitching journey, which I think is nothing but a good thing. So anyways, I finally said to myself yesterday, okay, you need to finish that up. You need to put the spool together because it's been sitting on your desk for months now and you haven't done it. So let's put your big girl pants on, watch the video. Jean Farish Needle Arts has done a tutorial video on the nun stitch. Jeannette has included visual instructions in her chart diagram. So there's a diagram in her chart on how to do the nun stitch. The way I learn is I am a very visual learner. So I really like to have somebody show me how to do it while they're talking about it, as well as looking at the diagram at the same time. And I'll generally watch a tutorial 2 to 3 to 4 times until I feel confident that I understand what I'm about to do. So I picked it up and then I immediately realized I hadn't stitched my initials and the date. So I did that first. And then I did it. I went on and I did the nun stitch. So all of the stitching is complete. All of the nun stitching is complete. Here it is. Ta-da! So I thought I had finished it, but I hadn't. So I finished, and yes, the H is 1 stitch higher than the C. And am I pulling out 1/1 on 40 count linen? No, I am not. It is going to be a design feature. 2024, I did more as a back stitch rather than cross stitch. And then check out my nun stitch. It's done. And everything that they say about doing the nun stitch, how it's repetitive, how it's an enjoyable thing to do once you get into the rhythm, was absolutely true. And I really enjoyed doing it. And as I was finishing up, I thought, why on earth did you wait so long to do this? Because Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, you're done. And before you know it, I just have to, you know, finish it, which I can easily do now. So Daniel and I are going to do a finish up video probably in 2 weeks time, the next week that I do a floss tube on this channel. And I will have a fully finished spool, ornament spool. So hooray! That's what I've been up to. My plans for the upcoming few days, the next few days, what I have in mind, what I'm going to be taking home with me for the weekend, because this piece has been on my mind for a while to get back to because it's so beautiful. It's still the springtime, and I've been working so hard on In the Dale, which is a very spring style design. Quaint Rose Needle Arts, Macy. Also another design that she used Roxy Floss Co. for. So it would be really nice to have a shop model, and it's a beautiful chart. I started this at least a year ago. A year ago, maybe? I don't know. I didn't write down when I started it, but it's been a while. Maybe even 2 years. 2 years? No. Oh, good gravy. 2022. So yes, 2 years ago. I started it shortly after it came out, but I don't think it came out in the spring. I think it came out in the summer. It wasn't, I don't know. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. It was 2 years ago. This is what the chart looks like. It's called Quaint Quakers Spring. We also have a Quaint Quakers Summer. And we really I need to pester Macy about doing an autumn and a winter, because look at how sweet this is. Look at the pigs. The pigs are really what make this chart for me. I need to finish this because of those pigs. I love it. The border's beautiful. The bottom, really little bit of stitched lace is beautiful. The floral border here is beautiful. The pigs are amazing. The house is fun. Everything about it I love. I thought, you know what? It's about time. It's about time I got back to that. So here's where it is from where I left off. Again, do I have a white background I can put on the back here? I think so. There we go. Look at that. Isn't it so pretty? It's so pretty. So this is the full width of the chart. I know I've got excess fabric here. However, this is the full width of the chart. This is a 46 count porcelain linen, and I'm totally in love with that. Look at how dainty and delicate that stitching is, if I do say so myself. It's so pretty. So 46 count Roxy Floss Co. porcelain linen with the called for Roxy Floss Co. floss pack. Now it does say, it still calls it Leo and Roxy Floss. Kerri went through a few name changes from Leo and Roxy Yarn Co. Leo and Roxy Yarn Co. still exists. Her old business partner is still dyeing yarn, but Kerri branched off into floss. It became Leo and Roxy Floss Co. And then it just became Roxy Floss Co. in January of 2023. So it's been almost a year and a half. But of course we still have charts that have the old name in it. So this is what I feel like stitching. This is what I want to take home, and this is what I feel like working on. So here's my floss pack, and the pinks and the pink and black is such a beautiful combo, and the greens in there for the floral border. So pretty. Yeah. So those are my plans. And that's what I've been up to, crafting wise, nothing else. I knit less, I knit half around on a sock last night. And it was very apparent immediately that it was a terrible idea, so I put it down. And of course I had left all of my other projects here at the workshop, so I had nothing to craft on last night, but that's okay. I went to bed early. So I'll catch up on some personal stuff. Many of you will know that we've adopted a new dog. Her name is Roxy. It has not been a smooth transition. It's only been 2 weeks. It's only been 2 weeks. She's a rescue. She's 2.5 years old. She is a hound, rotty, German short-haired pointer mix. So she's a very energetic breed. She's got a sniffer on her for days. You know, the neighborhood where we live, we have so many rabbits. I mean, we are filthy with rabbits in our neighborhood, and Roxy can tell you where every single one of them are because she smells them and she wants to get after them. So, you know, we are working really hard on training. There have been some hiccups. It's not been easy. So it's not going to be easy for me to bring her to work quickly. It's going to take some time to process because she is really, really, really afraid of Matt. Matt, if you don't know, Matt works here at Evertote. He's my sewing guy. Matt now makes 99% of all of the bags that we sell through Evertote. Obviously, you know, we work on the designs and everything together, but then the actual physical sewing of everything, Matt does everything. And he did nothing. I mean, he really did nothing. He didn't look at her. He didn't approach her. He's not afraid of her, so he's not giving off an air of being afraid. There was no energy that, I mean, I'm not a dog. There was nothing that I picked up on, but he grew up on a farm. He's used to big animals, and she's not big. She's about 60 pounds, so she's slightly larger than medium. She's quite lean and long, but she was terrified of him. She went right up and she sniffed him and she backed right off and just started barking. Super, super, super scared. You know, obviously didn't push it, you know, it was just a simple introduction. Tried again the next day, same thing. So these things and it's not just that, she's developing some leash aggression on our walks. And because she's so high energy, she needs the exercise. I need the exercise. We are all walking this dog kilometers per day, kilometers. Next step is to get Nicholas or John to run with her. If we can figure out how that she won't, you know, we have to work on the training on the leash first, because at the moment she still wants to shoot in front of you, right in front of your feet while you're walking. So we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do on ourselves. You know, part of training dogs is working on your own behavior. So we have a trainer coming to the house tonight. It is a gentleman that we have worked with in the past, many years ago, and he's very good at what he does. He's going to be at our house for a couple hours tonight, and we're really hoping that he can give us some tips and tricks and some help. So that's what's up with Roxy. I'm going to be editing this video at home this afternoon, so I will take a few video clips of her and put them in at the very end of the video. I will be leaving the end cap up of Luna. Luna is the dog that we recently had to say goodbye to. She was my companion. I have been very fortunate in my life to have had animals that I really bonded closely with, and I'm really hoping to get there with Molly. I called her Molly, didn't I? Molly is her sister. Roxy is my dog. Molly is Roxy's sister, and the reason I said Molly is because you know how brains work, right? You're constantly thinking of 10 things at the same time. I'm on a Facebook chat with the rescue, the foster that I got Roxy from, as well as the new owners of Molly, who is Roxy's sister. we're all working together to try to get these girls acclimated into their new homes, because of course they both Roxy and Molly were living, they've always lived with other dogs. They weren't living together in their foster situation, so that's why they weren't adopted out together. They weren't a bonded pair. But Roxy was on a farm with 4 other dogs, and she grew up with other, she grew up with her sister. So she's not used to being a single dog. So it's just a big transition, and it's the same with Molly. So Molly's new owner and I are, comparing notes and trying to help each other out a little bit, get through this, this first period. It's challenging. It's been challenging. I haven't been getting a lot of sleep, I'm not gonna lie. Though I have to say the last few nights have been much better. She is settling into a beautiful nighttime routine, and she's sleeping a little longer in the morning. Wake up was like 5, quarter to 5. She was on farm time, that girl. And I'm not quite on farm time. I needed until at least quarter to 6, 6 o'clock to get out of bed. So she is acclimating to a slightly later time, wake up time in the morning, which has been really nice. So that's improving. Baby steps, we'll take it. She's a lovely girl. So we just need to work on some of the things that make her unappealing to other people coming into our space, right? When you welcome another human into your home, you'd like them to feel like they're not going to be eaten by your dog. So we are hard at work. So that's my update on Roxy. I'm going to visit my mom and dad this weekend. I'm going on my own. I'm gonna go and have some family time just with my mom and dad this weekend. John and Nicholas are gonna stay at home with Roxy. She's not quite ready to be, she's not ready to be kenneled, and she's not nearly ready to be introduced to my parents' cats. We were told she'd be good with cats, but I'm not 100% convinced that that's actually a good idea. I've seen how she can destroy a stuffy, and she's got a very high prey drive. So I'm gonna be really super cautious there. And again, it's only been 2 weeks. So I'm going on my own to visit my mom and dad. I'll probably see my brother and sister-in-law and my niece. Hopefully I'll see them at the same time as well. Those are my weekend plans. I'm gonna be working on some stitching when I can. I can't take knitting with me, so maybe I'll come up with a smaller project that I can take stitching wise. Maybe I'll do some stitching in hand. We'll see. Sometimes that can aggravate my thumb. I don't want to have a problem with my right elbow and my left hand at the same time, because that's just misery. But anyways, oh my goodness, it's almost 1 o'clock here. I better go. I need to get a move on. I need to get home. John and I we are switching off. So she can't, hang on. Because Roxy's not ready to come to work with me yet, and she's not crate trained, we can't leave her alone by herself without training. I have to work, John has to work. We're very lucky, we're both self-employed, so I can do some email work and other admin work. I can do that from home, as well as while I'm doing that, I can get this video up and loaded so that we can have a visit together, and then I can be with Roxy while John goes out to the workshop. My husband is the maker of the Hearthside Craftworks lap frame and floor frames, and he now has some help with those. We have a gentleman here in London who helps out with the staining. His name is Noel, and we also have some of our parts now made by like some of the smaller parts where you can have a die made of it, a small wood company in Kitchener, Ontario. So based on our instructions, they can manufacture they manufacture parts for furniture makers, and so they've been able to take on some of the beginning part of some of the assembly parts that go into the frames themselves. But there's still so much work to putting these things together. They, because if they make some of the things, he still has to drill all the holes in the ends for the screws, put the hanger bolts in, put the legs together, all of the knobs, all the knobs are made. He does all the scroll rods, he does all of the custom work, the Q-snap adapters, the brackets, the large brackets, the small brackets, the stabilizer bars, all of those things, he makes them all. And well, he's only one man, and you know, the stands are, they're popular, so he's a busy guy, so he needs to get out into the workshop, and that means I need to get home. So I will say goodbye. I will see you here back on this channel in a couple of weeks, and until then, I hope that you're well, I hope that you're safe, and I hope that you have some crafting to enjoy this weekend. Take care, everybody. I'll see you soon. Happy stitching.